What is going on, YouTube? It's your girl Cherie. If you ain't familiar with me, boy, I feel like I got like 3 shades blacker today. I need to get some more sunscreen. Um, yeah, cause doing these events and being outside is just like, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get right into it, and yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You know what? Scratch that. There's been moments in my life, and I don't say this to gloat, but it's been moments where I could have done some shady stuff. I really could have. I could have taken advantage of somebody, or I could have, whether it be just because I could or just because I knew if I did it that for whatever reason, just some grimy reason. But I'm mainly talking about money. There's so many ways, y'all, just to cheat. There's so many ways to lie. There's so many ways to, quote unquote, get what you want. And I'm going to tell you something. Again, I don't say this to gloat, but I thought this would be a good topic. So I went somewhere today, and the long story short is they ended up taking my money, but I didn't get what I needed in return. And, it was a third-party company working for another. It was a third-party company that was partnered with the general store, right? So I called the manager over there, and I said, hey, this took my money. It didn't give me what I wanted. And he couldn't give me my money back. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? There could have been opportunity in there for me to be like, okay, well, you can't call, or you can't call somebody, or you can't do anything. Like, you can't just give me some, like, this is in your store. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I could have made a big fuss about it, but why? I understand if he had came up short, $2.25 is what I lost. If he had came up short and his manager asked him, well, how come we were short this amount of money? That wouldn't have worked. You see what I mean? So I understand why he didn't give me the money back. And he said, I apologize, but you can call this number right here. So I called the number, and the bottom line is that I spoke to customer service, and they said, okay, we're going to email you an e-check. Now, I had no idea e-checks even existed. No idea. But apparently it's real. So I asked her, so like, how am I going to know that you guys sent it? And she said, okay, well, it's going to say it's coming from this company, and it's probably going to come within the next week or so because of the holiday and all of that. So I was just like, okay, well, thank you. And again, it's only $2.25. But I thought about that, y'all, and I was just like, you know how easy it would be for me to just lie and say, hey, like after today, knowing that if I wanted to, I could do that again. And I could say, hey, I gave this third-party company $10, and they didn't give me my product. The lady didn't ask me for much information. She just asked me for, I think, my phone number and my name and how much I spent and my email address. And I was just like, you know what? It is just way too easy. And this is why it is what it is. Why we have so much, just people scamming, and why all that's out of control and people stealing stuff. It's just too easy. And I was watching an interview with Danny Trejo the other night, and he had said that when he was going through his recovery, his cousin came to him like after 2 weeks of being out of jail. He was back to slinging again. And he saw him at some wrecking yard, just, all sweaty and dirty, putting in hard work for like minimum wage. So he saw his cousin, or his cousin saw him, and he pulled up on him and was like, Danny, what are you doing? You embarrassing the family. Like, you just take this Coke right here. It's good. Just cut it, and here's an extra grand just to get going. And he was like, he thought about it. He was like, how easy it would be to take that and get 10 grand. That's like 10 grand right there. And he ran away. He was like, no. And he took that 1,000 that his cousin gave him. But he ran away and he didn't do it. And so why am I telling this story? Why am I sharing this with y'all? It's because it's some good people out there still. There's still some good people. And I think there's some people who just feel like, you know what, I'm getting tired of that. I'm getting sick of people taking advantage of me, or thinking that they could take advantage of me just because I'm kind, just because I actually do care. Or, you know what I'm saying? And the Bible talks about, I think that's why it says, hey, don't be weary in well-doing. Because it can be tiring to know what you could do, but you don't, just for the sake of, really for Christ's sake. I don't say that using his name in vain. I'm saying that literally. Like, for the sake of Christ, I'm not going to do this because I know that this is not a good thing to do. This is dishonest. This is stealing. This is lying. You know what I'm saying? I really thought about that, y'all. Like, how easy would it be for me to say, hey, I put $10 up in here and y'all didn't give me. You know how many times I could say that? You know how many times I could lie to the customer rep and be like, okay, well, my name is Shantae, and this is my new number, and I put another $7 in this contraption, and it didn't give me my product, so there's another $7. You know, oh my gosh. I don't say this to y'all to encourage you to do it. I'm saying you have the choice. You have the choice to make the right choice. And you may never get rewarded. You know what your reward might be? Just knowing that God saw that and you being obedient and him being happy with you. You have to be okay with that. You really do. So again, if that's the type of person you are, I want you to know God sees you, definitely. And I see you. I acknowledge that, and I acknowledge you in that character. And I just want to encourage you to keep being like that, because I get it. It can be irritating, especially when you have been taken advantage of before. You know, it's easy for revenge to try to creep up in there and be like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to be the one that gets people back and get stuff because this is what somebody did to me. It's easy to slip into that if you allow yourself, if it happens enough times. But at the end of the day, you know what's wrong and you know what's right. So keep doing what's right. I want to encourage you to do that. So I love y'all. Subscribe, like, and comment respectfully. If you want to learn how to make extra passive or money on the side, I should say, and build an asset for yourself, shoot me an email. Our songs in the background, courtesy of Suno. That might be a different video. All right. Y'all have a good night.